Hey, what's up, y'all?
Hey.
It's your girl, Lindsay Does It.
And it's Hazel Joy.
And this is
The Fillennials Podcast.
Welcome to another episode.
We back.
We back.
We back.
We back.
We need to really, we're still lagging on making that little jingle for the show.
Yeah, I know. We said this in one of our older episodes. Like, if you guys have any jingle ideas for us, any theme song ideas for us, don't be shy. Share them. We might use it. You know what I mean?
Maybe. We might.
You know? But aside from that, how have you been, Hazel? It's been a while.
Honestly, I probably start every episode like that.
But don't we all feel like that, though? I mean, it's Tuesday. It feels like it should be Friday.
It's Tuesday. I feel, I guess, okay. Not the greatest, not bad, just okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
What's been going on in your life, girl? What's new? How about
Just
that?
a lot of moving parts in my life, as like moving and just dealing with that alone is just stressful, but I'm all settled now, so it's fine.
That's good.
Other than that, I don't know. I think a lot of it has to do with the hormones, to be honest, and I can't control that. It feels like during this pregnancy I'm very sensitive, a lot more sensitive actually, and I don't know, maybe it is because I'm having a girl. I don't know. Because with Malachi's pregnancy, I felt very chill. I was actually bliss, like mostly the whole pregnancy.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like
really chill. Now I'm just kind of like on edge and just kind of like wanting to cry all the time.
Oh. So this makes me wonder, like, so Malachi is kind of like a very energetic baby, but you had a chill pregnancy with him.
Yep.
And now you kind of have like a roller coaster like pregnancy.
Yeah.
So maybe your little girl's gonna be extremely chill.
You think so? Oh man, that would be amazing. I don't know what to expect. I always hear the second child is kind of crazy, but I don't know. I also hear the differences between boys and girls. Like, boys are more hyperactive and then girls are a lot more chill, but then you're going to deal with the attitude. So I don't know, a lot of pros and cons to everything, right?
You know what this reminds me of? When I was in college, I took Intro to Psychology, and I think it was Intro to Psychology. And one thing that stuck with me was like a study that was done, or a theory about siblings in threes. Like, because you're a sibling of three, right?
Yes.
They say that there's very specific characteristics shared by the oldest child, the middle child, and the youngest child. No matter like who you are, like where you're from, how you grew up, there's always these like characteristics you see in every older child and every middle child and every younger child. So one thing I remember was that the oldest child is very independent. The middle child is,
Forgotten.
Yeah. Well, the middle child is like very chill, very much like they can get along with anyone
And get away with more things.
I don't know about that. I think that's the youngest child.
Oh, the youngest gets away with everything.
The youngest child, to me, I think, from what I can remember, because I always think of like a set of cousins of mine that kind of remind me of this. The third child is a little bit more of like a showman and an entertainer, or like they either act like or feel like the spotlight is on them or a magnifying glass is on them.
The youngest.
Yeah. So I don't know about you, but yeah, I feel like to me, you're very much independent. I see a lot of like just leadership qualities in you. Your sister, I feel like she's super chill. She's never too loud. She's never too quiet. She's like somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And then like your brother. So I don't know your brother very well.
But the times that you have seen it.
The 21st birthday. That's all I gotta say. He definitely was a showstopper. He was the entertainment for the night. A lot of adventures that night. So
I would say that all checks out, because for me growing up, it was ingrained, being the oldest, like, you're basically the second mom if anything happens to us as the parents, so I've always had that mentality, like, look out for your family, look out for your siblings, you're the oldest. And then I kind of set the bar really high with like having high honors and like just straight A's and just being in sports. So I was always very a high achiever, I would say. And then definitely independence, that was instilled in me. So yeah, I just kind of was like a take no shit from nobody and just just handle. And yeah. So that kind of checks
it.
out. Definitely my sister's a lot more chill and definitely has more of a grasp on managing everybody the best, for sure. I always feel like I'm the black sheep. And then yeah, you're right. My brother, he is the youngest and got away with everything. Because one, not only is he the youngest, but he's the only boy. So there's that. But yeah, so that kind of does check out.
So if you ever have a third child, maybe when they grow up, if you can like see like the differences, I don't know, because yeah, a lot of people have opinions like, oh, boys are this and girls are that, but to me, I'm like, okay, but how are they in a group of three?
That's
like,
true.
You know, that's one thing that stuck to me strangely.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I know that we're, you know, blessed to have a boy and then now we have a girl on the way. But I was telling JP, like, oh, everyone's kind of like, oh, you're set because you have one boy, one girl. But then I was telling him the other day, I was like, yeah, we're set. But then it's kind of sad because we both have, JP has a sibling, a brother and a sister. And then I have a brother and a sister. So we all kind of get the best of both worlds. Having that other sibling. Well, okay, it's a little bit different because like his sister, like she doesn't have another sister. But I guess my point was, like, my son and my daughter won't be able to experience having another brother or another sister because that's like really fun too, even though you guys probably will argue more, but it's also really fun because of your best friend. But I'm like, it's okay, they can be a best friend in each other because I don't really want a third, but I mean, who's to say, right?
Yeah.
who's to say what's gonna happen in the future? But
very true. I feel like, I mean, I'm an only child, so I can't really speak on like how it feels to have a sibling or siblings, but I can see how like a third sibling can be like more of an anchor, because like if you only have two, you can either like kind of do your own thing, separate, drift apart, or you can choose to do things together. But if you have a third, they can kind of like corral everybody. I'm like, let's do stuff together, let's be close, let's like be a unit or whatever. So I think like a third can be like a make or break or like a decider.
I think with that, it depends on the age gap too.
Oh,
because me and my brother are 9 years apart. That's a huge gap, but it was still pretty fun. Like I remember being a 9-10-year-old and he's 1 or 2, whatever, and I'm like having fun with him, you know. So it's just like, it just really depends on the age gap too, because me and my sister are 3 years apart and we're really close. So yeah, it just really depends. I'm about to have 2 under 3. That's crazy.
2 under 3.
Because yeah, Malachi's gonna be 2 right before the baby's born. So
wow,
ooh, it's kind of scary.
So I guess you can call that 2 under, not 2
2
under
under
2.
2 under 3.
He's 2.
Yeah, he's gonna barely be
yeah.
turning 2, but
Oh
it's
my
basically like the same thing.
Got it.
Kind of.
Wow. Dang.
Right there,
Well,
the cutoff mark.
something to look forward to. I wonder how much of Hazel we're going to see after this baby comes out.
I know.
Oh, man. Well, as far as what I've been up to, like, not much. I feel like work has been kind of taken over, like, my brain. So even when I'm not physically at work, I feel like my brain is there. Like,
really?
Especially recently, I feel like for some reason, I just can't relax. There's a lot of like stuff going on at work, good things, but very busy things.
Do you ever have like dreams about them at night? Because you're just working so much that you just start having random dreams.
I have.
Not necessarily good or bad, but just like work dreams. You're like, what the heck?
Yeah, it's so funny. Like I had this dream where I went to the office and I got lost and I tried to find, because like our offices, like it's connected to our warehouse, and there's this, like 3 shared offices and then like 2 solo offices. And so in my dream, I got lost and I was trying to find the office, and it looked like I was in a big showroom, like a furniture gallery. Like, you know how like some IKEA, like in IKEA, like you have like your little like a bed set over here in your office, like how your office can look or whatever. And that's what it felt like in my dream. And I was trying to, I couldn't find my desk. And I'm like, why the hell am I dreaming about work? I'm not even there. But yeah, so that I've definitely experienced that, and it sucks.
You know, I actually kind of miss working because it just feels like you have a purpose and you're like, you're doing something, and then it is nice to like get those paychecks because you're able to splurge a little.
Yeah.
But once that all stops, you're just kind of like, twiddling your thumbs like, okay, now what?
Yeah, because I've had my stint with unemployment back in the day, and yeah, you do miss that office life, and you do miss making the kind of money that you were making when you were actually on someone's payroll. So I feel you on that. And you know what? I almost forgot. So while we were talking about your pregnancy, before the camera started rolling, you were talking about possibly planning a baby shower for your little girl, but like, where are you at with that?
Yeah, no, I want to. It's just I dread planning in general. It's not my greatest, like, I don't know, task. I don't know, my favorite thing to do. I think that's also part of the reason why I always get a little anxiety around my birthday as well, because like I know a lot of people kind of do this grand 1 month long celebration. So if you can't make it to this one, you can come to that one. And I just feel like I don't have the energy or capacity to even do all of that. But that's why I kind of miss hosting track life events, because it was easy for me to just be like, yeah, I'm going to celebrate my birthday at this event that I'm hosting, because it's already like I'm already going to be there. Yep. It's already planned. You know, I don't really have to plan too much. And it was always fun. Like, a lot of people would always come out to those things. And man, lately it's just kind of been a lot of reflecting on how much my life has changed since becoming a parent. Like, I don't even listen to like a lot of new music now, or even like just sometimes music in general, because I'm aware of just the cussing and stuff, and I don't really want to like expose him I'm not saying I'm sheltering him as much, but he's at that age where he's picking up things so fast.
Yeah, the last thing you want is to be at like Whole Foods and he's like, fuck that shit.
Exactly. The newest thing, I don't think I told you guys this yet, but the other day, all of a sudden, and I'm very aware of, like, I'm conscious when it comes to knowing when and where's an appropriate time to cuss. Like, I've always been really good at that, like that switch. But like, I think that's why I love being around you guys, because I'm like, yeah, fuck this, fuck that. Like, I like cussing because I can around you guys. But around him, like, I'm very like conscious of that. But the other day, he was starting to say, oh shoot, and it's not even bad, it's not terrible, it's not like oh shit, but he's like, oh shoot, and one night he kept saying that over and over and over and over, like back to back, and I was laughing, and I know you're not supposed to laugh, and it's like not terrible though, so I was laughing. And then I was like telling JP, like, where did he learn that from? And he goes, you do say that a lot, you know that, right? And I'm like, I do, huh? I'm like, do I say that a lot?
And then you're like, oh shoot.
Exactly. I think we might have been watching something, and it was kind of intense, and and I think it was like about a shark, and it was gonna attack someone, and I think I kept saying, oh shoot. I think that's where it came from, because that was the night he started saying it. And then check this, after that, it would pop up out of nowhere. He would start saying that, but he would actually say it in the right context. He would drop something or whatever, and he's like, oh shoot. And I'm like, this kid, he knows. He's really smart, man. He's really smart.
He's very expressive.
Yeah, he's only 1.5, but he picks up things fast. And even when it comes to like gestures, like one time I was leaning like this on the table or something, and I had my legs kind of like crossed, and then he was kind of doing it too. And I'm like, or if I have my foot propped up somewhere, he's like, he just like wants to do everything I'm doing. I'm like,
that's so funny.
He's funny. He's so funny. He's so funny.
He's just picking up things left and right.
It's scary though, because you're like, oh shoot, somebody's watching you. You know, like, you gotta make sure you're not doing something crazy. Yeah. Like,
I know you like to step outside whenever you need a little moment.
Yeah.
For yourself.
Yeah.
And he doesn't see.
Exactly.
Just kidding. But I brought up the whole planning thing because you did mention, like, you don't necessarily like planning your birthday either. Yeah. And I wonder if it's a Gemini thing, because my boyfriend is a Gemini too, and his birthday's on in a couple of weeks.
It depends what kind of Gemini, because Irv's a Gemini and he's out here.
Oh yeah, he's out here like planning a birthday at a brewery. Is there a brewery?
Oh no, it's like a like a food court thing.
Oh, like a food
You've
hall.
been there before? Yeah, like a food hall. So there's like different like food spots.
Oh shoot, is that kind of like the smaller? It's like made out of containers, like metal containers.
Yeah, exactly. There's like different locations: Long Beach, Bellflower.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Oh, you're right. I forgot. Oh God, Irv is Gemini, and he loves planning. Period, because he's the founder of Track Life.
Exactly.
And we do music events and all that good stuff. So of course it would be only right because he's turning a milestone birthday.
Happy birthday, Irv.
Happy
Because this will
birthday,
come
Irv.
out, his birthday will have passed already.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
happy belated birthday by the time
And
this comes out.
Yeah, my boyfriend, he's a Gemini as well, and this is also a milestone birthday for him. But he's like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to. I keep
When
pushing
is it?
him.
June
17th.
Okay.
Yeah, so I kept like asking, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What do you want to eat? And he's like, oh, I don't know. You just, get Shake Shack, get in and out. I'm like, dude, it's a milestone birthday. He's like, yeah, I know, but he's like, it's like a headache trying to get people together.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm never the type of person to send out invites and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it. Like, he's like, yeah, we could just go eat somewhere. And I was like, So for my 40th, I was like, it was a pain in the ass too, trying to like think about planning. And we kind of had a venue already sorted out, but then they had to cancel because they got like bought out by another private party. And I was like, oh, fuck. And
This was
like
last year.
2022.
Oh, a couple years.
Yeah, a couple years ago. And
I couldn't go.
Yeah.
Because I was I was with Malachi already. He was already born.
Yep, exactly. He was fresh out.
Yeah.
But so luckily through our good friend Malcolm, shout out to Malcolm Alexander. He is a party person. He's a wedding DJ extraordinaire and host. Anyways, but he hooked us up. Or he talked to the managers at Blind Barber in Culver City, and he managed to get us secured for the Friday before my birthday. So I ended up actually having a party, and honestly, if it wasn't my 40th, I would have been like, I'll forget it, because it's like, yeah, the headache, trying to get people together, trying to do last minute planning, trying to make sure everyone has the right information, and also being so close to Christmas, because my birthday is 2 weeks before Christmas. Is like, I know a lot of people don't either have the funds or they're not in town or blah, blah, blah. But in my head, I kept telling myself, if I don't do this, I might regret it, because it's my 40th, and it's like, it's such a big birthday. If I just end up going to like CPK with my boyfriend, like, I would look back at it probably with a little bit of regret. So that's the only reason why I really pushed to have a party. So I feel you on that.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I think it's like, because I know at the end of the day, everyone has different schedules. So it's going to be hard to get everyone together no matter what. And that's not like my biggest worry. I think for me, it's the planning more so, like, okay, you got to get like the dessert, the cake, and then the finance for all of that stuff, the decorations, and like, if I had the funds each time, I would have like bomb ass parties, because I would just hire an event planner or coordinator every time, because I know they would just kill it, and that's their job. But honestly, like, my sister loves planning and doing all that DIY stuff. Like, that's her thing. And I think that was what like why I like always didn't mind, because she was always down to help. But like I say, I don't want to bother her this time. She's pregnant and near the due time that she's due. So, but we're gonna have her baby shower this weekend, so that's gonna be exciting.
That should be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I know, exciting for her and her husband. So yeah, very exciting.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so today's topic we are talking about, that's too formal, huh? I don't even care if you leave that in, Erin. But well, okay, so we always usually catch up on like, what are you watching, right?
Yeah.
But what are we talking about, what we're streaming now, or do you want to talk about millennial
Let's take it all the way back to back in the day.
Okay.
Back in the day.
Well, what are you watching? What are you watching? What did you watch, or what were your favorite millennial movies?
You know what? Like, when we catch up now, I watch a lot of like thriller and like sci-fi, but back then when I was like a teenager, I loved comedies.
Ooh,
I loved
really?
comedies and rom-coms. So I love like slapstick comedies and rom-coms. So I made a little list, and this is like so like non-comprehensive.
I feel like more are popping in my head right now too.
Yeah, right? So one huge memory I had was bootleg movies.
Oh.
Movies where they were out in the theater and they weren't out at Blockbuster yet to
VHS?
rent. So people would actually take their cameras in the movie theaters to film the bootleg and then sell it. So one
People
of
will be walking in the shadows.
yes, you hear like background laughter.
Yeah.
So the first bootleg movie that I ever watched was Friday.
Oh.
I went to one of my classmates' houses after school. There was like 4 or 5 of us, and we were just watching it. And that's why it's kind of like it has to be in my top movies as a kid, because that was an experience, you know? Because when Friday came out, I think I was 13.
Mm-hmm.
It was like mid 90s, and before then, I didn't watch movies in that kind of like genre of comedy where it's very, very hood, a lot of like cursing and stuff like that, weed, crackheads, yeah, and stuff like that. So I was like, it was extremely memorable for me. So I would say that's one very notable movie in my childhood.
I remember, okay, one of the movies I loved back then, and I don't even think it's a 90s movie, to be honest, but it was a musical, and it's called The Sound of Music.
I knew you were going to say that.
It wasn't it like the 60s or something?
70s.
Or 70s? So I don't know why, but as a kid, I was obsessed with that movie. I loved all the songs.
The hills are alive with the
Sound of music.
Did you guys play it during Christmas?
No, I watched it all the time, not just Christmas. I don't know why I was obsessed with that movie. Like, I remember watching that on repeat.
You know what?
But that was just one of my favorite movies.
I love that.
I don't know why.
Do you still like musicals to this day?
It depends. Because I didn't really like, as I got older, I didn't care for musicals very much, but I do like some. But you know what they turned into a musical? Have you seen another top 5? Well, we had a list of 5.
We had a 5 movie limit, but
we really have a little bit more. But Matilda. So they did a remake of Matilda recently. I saw it on Netflix, and it's it's a musical. Wait, was the Matilda original Matilda musical? No, right? No, it wasn't.
I never watched it. I know it's about a little girl. She had bangs and a bob, right?
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's on your to-do list because it's a classic.
Yeah. Side note, my boyfriend always gets on me because he's a huge movie buff. And whenever he mentions a movie and I'm like, I never seen that, his head explodes. Like, what do you mean? Okay, put that on the list.
No, literally, Matilda is a classic film. And don't watch the new one. Watch the original. But I don't even think it was a musical. But I mean, I was like, oh, they made it into a musical. And then I watched it and it wasn't so bad. But still, I'm always like, I always root for the originals, you know?
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me too. And by the way, if you guys don't know, me and Hazel, we're both millennials, but we have a little bit of an age gap. I think maybe like 6 years. How old were you when Mean Girls came out?
I feel like I was in high school.
So that's another movie that turned into a musical.
Ew.
Yes. I didn't know that. So like
they have more movies after Lindsay Lohan, don't they? For Mean Girls?
After Lindsay Lohan?
Yeah.
Oh, it was just so it was Mean Girls, and then it was just that original.
Oh, you're saying there is a musical?
Yeah, there's a musical. Yep,
that's right. Yep. Okay.
So I think last year they're like Mean Girl, not even Mean Girls 2. It was like The Mean Girls, or some kind of like they made some sort of like weird change to the title.
Interesting.
And Tina Fey was still in there.
She's in the musical?
Tim Robbins. Yes. So they showed like, okay, they have some of the original cast, none of the original girls, but they didn't like in all of the trailers and all of the previews and stuff like that for the movie, they did not mention that it was a musical. So when people actually saw it at the premiere, they're like, what is this? Why is there music? Why are they singing?
That's interesting.
There's a lot of movies that shouldn't be remade, and there's a lot of movies that shouldn't be remade into musicals. That's for sure.
Bring It On was another top.
Yes, that's on my list too.
But when they made the sequels without the original cast, it was kind of like corny.
I didn't watch any of the sequels.
It's kind of like All That, or is it She's All That? I think they made another one after that.
Yes,
and it was like
He's All That.
Yeah,
that was recent too. What are they doing?
It's kind of dumb. I think I seen it.
Oh my gosh! And it's kind of like
that was a classic. Freddie Prinze Jr.
Oh, he was hot.
Everyone loved
him.
So
hot.
Yeah.
And this is another example. It's not a movie, but it's a show that they remade. So Boy Meets World, and they remade it into Girl Meets World recently.
Weird.
I didn't care to
weird.
watch it. So let us know if you watched it and liked it.
Did you ever watch like TGIF where they had all those shows
All
every
the
Friday?
time.
Oh, that was the best.
Family Matters, Step by Step.
City Guys.
Was it a? Oh, I remember watching that on like weekend mornings.
Yeah. I think they had it on weekend mornings and TGIF.
Was Home
Or was I just
Improvement
thinking
on
about
TGIF?
I don't know, but I loved that show too. 'Cause
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yeah. Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
He was so cute.
Everyone loved him too. He stopped acting though, huh? Like a long time ago.
Yeah, he makes very, very rare appearances. I think Tim Allen, who played the dad on Home Improvement, he recently had a sitcom maybe a few years ago, and JTT came on and did a few cameo spots.
Oh.
He looks the same.
He does.
He's still short.
He's still short, yeah.
Still short. I would say he was cuter as a
little
teen.
younger.
Yeah, when
younger.
we were teens, he was cuter. But still, shout out to him. He's still,
I feel
doing his
like
thing.
the 90s was all about like the shows too. Like I know my favorite shows. I was obsessed with Seventh Heaven, One Tree Hill.
Aaron put his hand up like,
Seventh
yeah.
Heaven.
Oh, by the way, while we're talking about Aaron, shout out to Aaron for actually coming up with this topic.
Yeah.
He actually put up like a dope little timeline for us as well to go off of. So thanks, Aaron, for that. Yeah, Seventh Heaven. I watched a lot of, Family Matters.
Family Matter, yeah. Yep.
I watched a lot of
Fresh
Martin.
Prince. Martin.
I watched a little bit of Fresh Prince. I don't know why I didn't watch that much Fresh Prince, but I also watched like Living Single and like I don't know. I liked those like it was like Friends before Friends became a thing.
I never really got into Friends. I know a lot of people, for example, Simpsons and like Friends and even SpongeBob sometimes. Like those are shows that everybody was obsessed with that I never really got into.
Right.
I don't know why.
I think I might have told this story on one episode, but it was the series finale for Friends. And my cousins invited me over to watch it. And it was like a big deal. And I never watched an episode of Friends before. So I sat there watching it and I was so lost. And I'm like, wow. And they were like so like emotional about it. Like
really?
you could tell they were super invested in the show. And I just couldn't understand it. And
I was with that for One Tree Hill.
Yeah.
But also I think the hype back in the days was just the fact that you couldn't really binge watch unless you had TiVo record it. The kids don't know what TiVo is. You can, that new technology, right, that came out, that new technology back then where you can record your shows and then you can just like go back to it whenever you want if you're not able to watch it live. But even before that, we had to wait every week for that show. And then it would be that hour block. And then I remember being like, don't bother me for this hour at all. And then every time it's commercials, you had to like go pee or get a snack. You got to run back.
You only have 2 minutes.
Yeah. So that, I don't know if it's that what made it more enticing and more exciting to come back to your favorite shows. Cause it's like, it's that time of the week or time of the day.
Yes. And when you go to school the next day or the following Monday, you just talk about it. You talk about it with your friends.
Yeah.
And like if you were already like in the workforce, it's like water cooler talk. What do you talk about? You talk about the shows you watched last night, or you would talk about the shows or movies you watched over the weekend. So yeah, we don't really have those moments anymore.
It's crazy. The boom of the stream service kind of changed the way you watch.
Exactly.
The way you can binge. You can just crack out one night, watch 20 episodes.
Oh my gosh.
In one night.
Well, I don't know about y'all, but my VCR was on like
you record it
all the time. I would record all
everything.
my shows.
Yep.
I think that definitely was like my favorite toy growing up was my VCR because I would always use it when I was like really little. On the weekends, my dad would record cartoons, and when I would wake up, I would watch the cartoons because I would always sleep in. Ever since I was a little kid, I was like not a morning person. Yeah. So, and then growing up, I would record like Sister. I would record like Home Improvement and all that
or
stuff.
Or even like Moesha.
Yeah, for sure.
Back to movies.
Wayne's Brothers.
Oh, I love the Wayne's Brothers.
Yeah. Yep.
Back to the movies. Did you ever watch Jumanji? Was definitely one of my favorites. Did you ever watch that one?
I did, and anything Robin Williams.
Anything.
I was all over Mrs.
like
Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Patch Adams.
Oh, classic.
Oh my God, tearjerker.
And then also like some cheesy rom-com stuff like A Cinderella Story with Chad Michael Murray.
Oh my God.
And A Walk to Remember with Mandy Moore.
I never watched that. I knew it was gonna make me cry, so I never watched it.
It definitely had me cry. The Notebook.
What'd you say, Aaron?
Notebook. Yeah, he knew that was coming next. It's always right there with A Walk to Remember.
Yeah,
Notebook.
I can't watch those like that. I already know are
The
gonna
Notebook.
be sad.
Okay, spoiler alert if you haven't seen The Notebook. But so what's really for me, what's like touching about that movie is because it is about her having Alzheimer's as she got older. My grandma actually had Alzheimer's, so it's like just kind of having experienced someone in your family with that, and then seeing that in the movie kind of like touches your soul even more, and you're like, oh, like,
I hate that.
Yeah.
Don't make me face my own reality.
Exactly.
But as far as like actual like rom-coms, Sandra Bullock had the rom-coms in a chokehold.
Which one? Like Miss
Miss
Congeniality?
Congeniality, The Proposal. Shoot, like what else did she have? She had so many movies. J-Lo too. She had The Maid, The Wedding. She had hell of wedding movies. Like
she does. You know what I loved as a teen? I think it came out was a Devil Wears Prada. That's one of my favorite movies. Love that movie.
Wow, Meryl Streep.
She's a goat. Anne Hathaway. She's in that other movie that was a hit, Princess Diaries, right? In the 90s.
Oh my God.
There's so many. It's like hard to narrow it down.
I was just talking to my coworker because he has teenage girls, and we got on the subject of movies. I'm like, man, movies kind of like ruined my expectations as an adult because so many movies starring teenage girls always inherited something. Like, boom, you're a princess. What?
Damn, like why can't that be my life?
Right, exactly. So yeah, that's definitely a classic. Other ones, I was a big fan of Jim Carrey. I'm still a huge fan of his, but like Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura. I love the slapstick comedy, the stupid comedy.
He's so
Mike
outrageous.
Myers. Yeah, he's too much.
Mike Myers.
Yeah.
Austin Powers. Oh, those are classics.
Wayne's World.
But I feel like this generation would protest against like something like Austin Powers. Just like they don't have that kind of humor.
No, at all.
Like,
not at all.
This is inappropriate.
You know what movie wouldn't fly? That's like one of my favorites.
Which one?
Shallow Hal.
Shallow Hal.
Remember that?
Like,
Jack Black.
That was a good movie though.
It was good. It was a good lesson.
Everyone's so sensitive now though.
That's true.
Why?
Because
I didn't really care about
times.
Clueless that much. Did you? Oh, Titanic for sure.
Oh, Clueless was a GOAT movie for sure.
It was good, but it wasn't like my favorite.
Right. I think also like with the age gap.
The Matrix.
Aaron's just pulling up like all these results.
That was my favorite. One of my favorites.
Cruel Intentions.
That one's a good one.
Fight Club.
Okay,
you know what? I watched Fight Club a few years after it came out, and I was like, this shit is mind-blowing, and I love it.
Okay, I was going to say that, but about The Matrix.
Oh.
Like, The Matrix, for me, back then, when I saw that movie, that was the first of its kind for me that I've seen that was just very, the tech and the, always like dodging the bullets and just the action. That was mind-blowing to me.
The action, but also it made me hella like, what if everything around us isn't what it appears to be?
Yeah, it made you think
like,
about what
are we all in pods? Yeah,
that's true.
You know what? You kind of scrolled over one, Aaron. Remember the Titans? That was a
good one.
movie.
Yeah.
That and like Friday Night Lights.
There's that Coach Carter one that I liked.
Oh yeah,
that was.
Yep.
I like that one a lot more just because it was about basketball and I like basketball a lot. I played basketball.
Yep. Will Ferrell movies.
Super bad.
All the Will Ferrell movies.
Oh my gosh.
Anchorman.
Okay, Paranormal Activity. I remember seeing that in theaters, and there was actually a girl in the audience that I think she cried. Like she was just so scared. And then I remember someone else in the audience like, it's okay, it's just a movie.
I felt that way about Blair Witch Project because
you did?
Well, I felt like at the time I think I was like 17.
That movie sucks.
When it came out though, it was kind of like, is it real? Is it not?
Is
right?
it just because
So-
it's like your imagination? Because nothing really happened in that movie.
Well, the one thing that really freaked me out, two scenes that freaked me out, was when they found like a bundle of something, like a cloth, something. They opened it and it was human teeth. And then at the end, the very last scene, when one dude was like facing the wall and the camera was on the floor, that for some reason, that to me scared me to my fucking bones. Like, dude, that shit scared me.
You know what? Sure. For me, my first scary movie, I was in 4th grade, I believe. And it was a girl sleepover party. It was one of my friend's birthdays. And someone wanted to watch The Exorcist, the original. You know, that movie fucking scared me to death.
I've never seen it.
To this day, I feel like, I don't know if it's just because I watched it as a kid.
Yeah,
maybe.
That's not appropriate.
But I was scarred so much that I felt like, to me, that was the scariest movie I've ever seen in my life. Even with it, like, not being the craziest, like, you know.
Like, it's not gory. It's not like, you know, bone breaking.
Yeah, I think it's just because it is religion and, you know.
Oh.
I think that was a big part of it. Because I grew up Catholic too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my
and also
because
the person that was that had the exorcism done on her, or that was possessed, was a little girl too. So it's like, you're a little girl watching a little girl getting possessed by the devil and then getting exorcised. Like,
I don't even think I knew what I was in for. I just was like, okay, let's watch it. Like, I'm like just kind of going along with it. And I'm just like, who chose this movie?
I would have been like, can I just play my tape of what I recorded last night? Is Family Matters.
Right? I'll never forget. Like, I feel like my palms are sweating because I'm like thinking about that moment.
You shouldn't be absorbing, like, when you're watching something scary or something having to do with like paranormal things. So I feel you on that.
I just don't want to like subconsciously like bring any of that kind of energy.
Got it. Oh my God, we could go on this topic for so much longer, but we did touch on a bunch of really awesome movies that we watched growing up.
We did.
We probably need to do a part 2 of this, because I know you had a list of Disney movies.
I know you had a longer list. I know we both had a list that we didn't even go through.
Yeah, in different categories as well.
We'll have to do a part 2 next time.
Definitely. Well, you guys, let us know what you enjoyed watching as a kid or a teenager. Hopefully we can find it on streaming, and then maybe we could do like a little review on a part 2.
Yeah, maybe we'll add it to Linds's watch list or mine.
Oh God,
if I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen very many movies, but yeah. Anyhow, we appreciate you guys listening. Be sure you catch us on all streaming services: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.
Yeah, and don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. Leave us those comments. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you want to hear next time.
That's right. And follow us on social media at the.Fillennials on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah, man. Thank you for your support.
Yeah, and we'll catch you next time.
Peace.
Bye.